Section 9 Repair BGA chip, broken gold wire. We have a lot of encryption chips from Mercedes-Benz car keys that need to be repaired. Chip wiring. First, the black surface needs to be polished off. It can be stopped when it hits the PCB. The slope must be well controlled. The current problem with it is the key cannot start the car due to the open circuit between the PCB and the silicon body. Add a little washing water during the grinding process. After the next part of the green and gold lines come out, we need to slow down. The gold thread can already be seen. Then it goes slower. Slow down and look at the details. Due to the high temperature of this chip, the gold wire and the upper half are desoldered. Cause it to not work normally. Our repair is to reconnect the points of the PCB below with the silicon body above. The repair can be completed when the grinding cannot be seen. Just dip a little board, washing water, alcohol, and the like. Make it clear. If the PCB below is damaged or worn, it doesn't matter. Will not affect the overall repair progress. First time, clean out the solder joints. The solder joints of the PCB have all been cleaned. The rest is the top half. The top half is the riskiest part. It has now been ground to a slope. So if we polish this section now...
Wait a minute, the flying line will increase the difficulty.
To go inside the welding point, polish about 1 millimeters. In favor of the next flying line. Every time you grind a little, stick some alcohol or washing water. You can observe the progress of polishing at any time. If you make a mistake, it can't be repaired. The current state is not the best state, because the dots above are different in size. Little dots like this. It will be very difficult for us to weld. Dig each pad to the bottom, make it bigger. And there is a critical point where you can't touch the chip. Continue at this time. Not a millimeter of error is allowed. A millimeter error is not allowed. We have maximized the pad. It can't be ground down at this time. If you continue to grind down, it can't be fixed. Now we're going to fly. Clean up before flying the line. a few solder joints on the following PCB. Correspondingly, there are the same few solder joints above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So one by one in that order. The repair can be completed. All that's left is welding skills. Squeeze on welding fluid. The soldering iron head used for welding is 210-pointed. So you have to tin it, and you have to tin the bottom PCB. After the PCB is plated, clean it up, and then continue to plate it. After plating the top, it cannot be cleaned, because the gold dots of the silicon on it are very fragile. Once it falls off, use conductive glue. It will be very troublesome, and the success rate will be very low. So the pad is cleaned after tin plating. And then finally tin the top half. The upper half of the tin plating is tin plated with pure tin and roll-in. If there are too many impurities on it, if you clean it up, you can't rub it back and forth. Just a little bit. You can't rub back and forth. It will damage the welding joints on it. The thread used is the silver wire flying thread. Solder the PCB first. Re-weld the upper half. Soldering PCBs is the easiest. When welding the upper half, as long as the welding is firm while welding, then pull this thread off by the way. Look at the method. The tip is pressing the solder joint. One hand, grab the string. First one is welded. Second root is the same method, and so on. After soldering to the point, press it and pull the line. Then it's naturally welded on it. Go ahead, third one. The temperature of the welding table should not be too high. The temperature used is 335 degrees. The tin pulp is 199. Fourth heel. Press and then pull the wire. Fifth press. And then pull the wire. If it is not welded, it can be repaired. If this wire is short, it cannot be soldered. You can push this line up a bit. After returning a little, if there is enough length, it can be welded. And the last four. The last three. Two lenses on the desktop. it will be more difficult to reach in. So when welding, a little touch is normal. The last two. When pulling the line, when the welding table is pressed on, be sure to press tightly when pulling the wire. Otherwise, the pad will be damaged. Once the pad is broken, it is very troublesome. Now let's see if the points above are solid. Then directly desolder the pad below. If the upper half of the PCB is not soldered properly, this wire will fall off. If the top half is welded, this wire won't fall off. Check in this way. Safer than measuring with a universal meter. At present, the upper half of the line has been fully welding done. Then you need to check if the repair is complete. The voltage it uses is 3V 1. Then let's test it out. Can it be used normally at present? Welding the power supply feet. Okay, now let's start testing. Just power on 3V0. Let's look at the indicator light. The indicator light turns on after pressing the button. That means it's working fine, but it's not done by this time. The rest, we're going to look under a pure microscope. The main detail is to separate the wires above when cleaning. As long as it is not operated properly, the entire pad will fall off. The cleaning action must be light. You go from the bottom up, not from the top down, because there are barbs on the weld points. If you pull cotton from the top down or something clean, it will pull the thread off. Okay, clean it up. Be sure to clean it until there are no oil stains, then glue. But don't rush to water it at this time. After cleaning up, I need to power on as soon as possible. Let's see if it works again. Okay, press the button. Still works. Last step, glue. After applying the glue, the first time it's going to be tested. It will be packaged later. Tap, tap. Wait a while, let the glue flow to every corner. This way there will be no gaps. Test again. It can be cured after normal. Okay, at this time, you can rest assured that it can be solidified. So this chip repair course, we're done here. Bye.